I'm about to give y'all the top 10 basketball shoes of 2025, so you better listen up. We're gonna rank these 1 out of 10. We're gonna go off looks, comfort, traction, and honestly, my personal opinion, if I get buckets or not. I got buckets in all of these. All right, just my personal opinion, all right? Take that one as you want. First shoe I'm doing is shoe number 10. That is my least favorite out of the 10, and then the last one is my favorite. I also have 2 honorable mentions that I'm gonna show y'all at the end. Those are my 2 favorite hoop shoes of all time, but they're kind of hard to get now, so I didn't wanna put them in the top 10 because I don't know if you can get your hands on them, but if you can, I recommend you get those, so wait till the end of the video. With that said, let's get into the top 10. Coming in the first, we got the Stephen Curry's. Honestly, I don't even know what Stephen Curry this is, but I will tell you, if I ever see you in this shoe, I know your booty. You suck. All you do is watch Stephen Curry, you're a bandwagon, you're not good. If you show up to my AAU tryout and you're wearing this, you're automatically getting booted out the gym. Starting off with comfort. I'm gonna give it actually a 7 out of 10 because that is the best part about this shoe. It is comfortable. You know, it feels like a granny shoe. You know, like something that you would wear as an old person just to be comfortable, like Skechers. This is a Sketcher. Traction, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. Actually, a negative 1 out of 10. This is a terrible traction shoe. If you don't wanna sprain your ankle, if you don't wanna slip, like on a banana peel, don't buy this shoe. On the looks, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. And my personal experience and bucket scale, I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 10. Honestly, have not had a good experience with this shoe. The only thing good about this is it's Stephen Curry's, and Stephen Curry's pretty good, but I'm not even a Stephen Curry fan. Durability, honestly, these look great, but I've only worn these twice, and I've only worn them to film it, and I played in them once, so I can't honestly give it a true durability scale, so I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10, because I'm not 100% sure, because I haven't spent a lot of time in Curry's, because they're butt. In my overall opinion, they suck. All right, we're gonna go on to number 9. Coming in at number 9, the LeBron 22s. One, these are $200. I don't think this is a good enough shoe to be worth $200. Yes, it has LeBron's name on it. The GOAT, greatest of all time. Michael Jordan doesn't even come close. If you think you're an MJ fan, you suck. And I would also kick you out of my tryout if you came to my AAU tryout. No Jordan fans. Number 2, the canvas, it's just not it. They're heavy. The traction on these are good though. I really like the traction on these, and I also like the look. These are very icy. These are very nice shoes to look at. It's just, if I'm talking about performance and just the overall thing, it's all right. Maybe if you're a center with no athletic ability, this is the perfect shoe for you. But if you're an athlete, if you're actually trying to get buckets, I would not recommend these shoes. So if we're talking about traction, I'm gonna give these a 7.5 out of 10 because that is the one thing I actually do really like about this shoe. If we're talking about the look, I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10 because they do look pretty good. And then if we're talking about the comfort, I'm gonna give it like a 3. I don't know if y'all watched my video about these shoes, but I wore them for 20 minutes and my feet were aching. And if we're talking about durability, I do actually feel like these would last for a long time. These are kind of new. I've only worn them a handful of times, but they fit. I'm gonna give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Not really sure about the durability, but I'm sure they would last for a while, so. I hate this, dude. Whoever designed this, you suck. You don't play sports. You might do like badminton or croquet or something like that. Badminton? Huh? Badminton. Badminton. You might do badminton or something like that, but you don't play basketball because this is a safety hazard. I'm not even gonna lie to you, that's a safety hazard. Honestly, I probably would have put this shoe higher up if it wasn't for this crap. You're gonna slip, you're gonna miss, you're gonna get your ankles busted. If I see someone wearing this shoe, I'm busting your ankles with a torn ACL. Ow, mother. I hit that hard, dude, no cap. Shoe number 8. Next up, we got the Ja Morants. Now, this is the Ja 1s. I never personally got the Ja 2s. Or is there the 3s now? I don't know. I think there might be the 3s. The new ones he featured, dope. The 4s, those aren't out yet. I'm definitely getting those when they come out. But the Ja 1s, this one's at number 7. And honestly, it's because it's just a mid shoe. It's good, like it's not bad. Like if you want a good shoe at a cheap price, this is it. But honestly, it doesn't do anything for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks, the tractions, I feel, but it's just like it's an all right shoe. So that's why it's at number 7. It's not good, it's not bad, it's all right. So if I had to give the traction a grade, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. If I had to give it a look a grade, I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10. If I had to give it a comfort score, I'd probably give it a 6.5. Honestly, I have good experiences in this shoe. I played in it a good bit. I've gotten buckets in this shoe. So I'm gonna give it like a 7.5 out of 10. And then if we're giving durability, I'm actually gonna give it a good score at an 8.5 out of 10 because I've actually worn these a lot, but they look pretty darn new. So this is a good number 7 shoe in the lineup. On to the next one. Next, we got the Firework Kobe 8s. Now, if we're talking about a beautiful shoe, this is a beautiful shoe. I love this shoe. Honestly, I'm just gonna give it a grade right away before I talk about it. This is a 10 out of 10. Talking about looks, it's beautiful. If we're talking about price, it's not. This is a very expensive shoe. You can really only get it on StockX or some reselling site, but it's a good shoe. It looks cool and it's It honestly just looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't feel good. I've gotten buckets in this shoe, but I hate all Kobe 8s. How they feel, just not it. Personally, I love Kobe's to death. Kobe is actually my favorite like shoe, but the Kobe 8s, just for some reason, this model just feels like cheap on my foot. It feels loose. It feels like too light. I don't know how to describe it. Like this tongue, like it's just so thin, and it just feels like my foot's gonna slide out of it whenever I wear it. So if I had to give it a look, I'm giving it 10 out of 10. Traction, I'm gonna give it like a 6 out of 10. Comfort wise, I'm giving this like a 4. And that's honestly why it's at 6. It would be higher up on the list, but I just don't like how these feel on my foot. So it's a 4 out of 10. And then if I had to give it durability, I'm gonna give it like a 5 out of 10 because I've only worn these a few times, and like this is already chipping right there. You can already see like some scuff on the carbon fiber. I mean, the shoe's still intact, but that. So with that, I had the Firework Kobe 8 at number 6. Moving on to number 5. Ooh, now we're starting to get into the heavy hitters, the big boy stuff. Moving on to the next one. How did bird crap get on that? What the frick, dude? I just threw it and a bird pooped on it midair? That's literally bird poop. How did that happen? Next, we got the kid, the next GOAT, the next legend, one of the next faces of the league besides Jason Tatum, the AE1s. Now, I've been a Nike person my whole life. I've been a Nike fan my whole life. I've always gotten Nike basketball shoes. The only Adidas basketball shoe I ever wore growing up was the Crazy Lights, the Derrick Rose shoe. I'm sure y'all remember the Crazy Lights. But I didn't like that shoe, and that's why I always went back to Nike. But now that I'm getting older, now that I'm getting wiser, I'm starting to get to that Adidas train, man. Adidas has been putting out some fire. They got the Donovan Mitchells, they have the James Harden, and then they have these, and I love these. These are coming in at number 4. Comfort-wise, they feel great. There's no break-in period. Honestly, I thought this would be hard to like bend your foot when you play in. You don't feel that at all. They feel the good ankle support. The color, this colorway's fire, by the way. And then we got the good.
I watch you on YouTube, bro.
Yeah! You caught, what's your name?
I don't know.
You don't know your name?
Yeah. What's your name?
Braxton. You don't know my name?
Yeah, you do like those skits.
You watch me too. Where are these children coming from? They're just emerging. They're like creepers.
Hey, is this in the video?
Yeah, we're filming a shoe review video.
How much subscribers?
About to hit 1 million.
Dang.
Literally
Wait, what's your
almost
name?
there. Braxton. Dude, there's more. Bro, they're spawning. They're coming out of nowhere. All right, now that after I was rudely interrupted by my supporters, I'm just kidding. I love y'all. Come, if you ever see me, come up, come say hi. But bro didn't even know my name. Bro stopped me, stopped the video, didn't even know my name, and then because he stopped me, then other people just started spawning in out of nowhere. That was funny though. But yeah, I think I was talking about. I thought this wouldn't work well, like be able to bend, have much flexion in your foot. Didn't feel that at all wearing these shoes. I get buckets in these shoes. I feel good, look good, play good in these shoes. The comfort's there, the traction's there, the durability's there. This is just a great shoe. I'm gonna give it an 8 on the traction, a 9 on the comfort. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 on the looks, and then durability, I'm gonna give it an 8. Solid shoe. The only reason I give it an 8, because it does get these little scratch marks. You see that? I don't know, it's just the material, but great shoe. I highly recommend it. I'm turning into an Adidas guy. It's happening. I'm saying it. Look, I'm even wearing an Adidas shirt right now.
Adidas, sign them.
I never thought, yeah, sign me, bro. I'm literally telling y'all that I'm switching. And like, see, I won't disrespect this shoe by throwing it like I threw the Nike. Next, we got the KD 17s. Now, if y'all did see my LeBron 22 video versus the KD 17s, I like these. I marked these really good. I rated them really high. I love how this shoe feels. It reminds me a lot. Oh, I don't even know if I can say that because that's my favorite shoe, the one that I had my honorable mention at the end. I can't say it, but it reminds me a lot of a popular shoe that a lot of people wore that had a lot of good colorways that I'm showing later. These feel great, comfortability wise. I'm gonna give these an 8 out of 10. If we're talking about the traction pad was actually really good. That was my most surprising feature about this shoe because I didn't think it was gonna be good, but it was really good. So I'm also gonna give that an 8 out of 10. If we're going looks, it's simple, it's basic, but it looks good. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. They probably could have did more, but I really like the simplicity of this shoe. It's really nice. And we're going durability. I do feel like this would get messed up really easy. And then if you're a really explosive, bouncy person, I feel like it might rip out here. Because I know a lot of bouncy people, all the bouncy people I know, their shoes rip down here. I feel like this one might do that. Personally, I haven't experienced it yet. So I'm gonna give it like a 6.5, 7 out of 10 on the durability scale. But if we're also talking about buckets, I know I can get buckets in these. I haven't done it yet because I have a torn ACL. Shout out knee surgery in a few weeks. but I know I can get buckets in these. I like these. I give it a high grade. I love this shoe. Moving on to number 4. So we're on number 4, and there wouldn't be a top 10 basketball shoe list without this shoe. Y'all already know what it is, the Kobe 6 Grinches. You cannot have a basketball shoe collection without this shoe. This shoe is like a staple of basketball shoes and kind of like just what it is. I love this shoe. This is a great shoe. This is honestly my most played in shoe. It's comfortable, it's durable, it looks good on your feet. I mean, honestly, it has everything. The traction's good on it. I will say though, this is an older shoe, right? It hasn't evolved. You know, like basketball shoes have evolved, the technology and everything. You can tell this is an older shoe. Like if I was doing this, I don't know when these came out, but if I was doing this when these came out, this is very high tech, very ahead of the game shoe. Now it's still good. It still stands up today, but it isn't as good as like newer basketball shoes from the traction, the comfort, and all those things. So that's the only reason why it's at 4 and it's not like at number 1 or a little bit higher. It's just because like you can tell it's an older basketball shoe. But if I had to give the traction a grade, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. If I have to give the looks a grade, 10 out of 10. Beautiful shoe. Honestly, one of the most beautiful basketball shoes ever created. If I'm giving the durability a grade, I'm probably gonna give it probably 8 or 9 out of 10 because this is my most worn shoe I've ever worn. If I had to give comfort a grade, I'd probably go 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Overall, great shoe. It's an older shoe too, and it stood up. In 2025, it's still super relevant. So good job, Nike. Good job, Kobe. But this is not the last Kobe on our list. Moving on into shoe number 3. All right, coming in at our top 3 is the James Harden Volume 9s. Now, I told you I'm starting to switch to Adidas. I love this shoe. The look of it, the comfort, the traction, the durability, everything about this shoe is really good. The only thing I don't like is these little creases. The more and more you wear them, it gets creases. Now it is because of what the material is made out of, but it doesn't restrict your movement. That's honestly why it creases, because it doesn't. And honestly, it's a great shoe. I love this little sock cuff it has on it. Super comfortable. The traction pad's really good on it. The durability is great. If I had to rate the looks, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. If I had to rate the traction, I'm giving it like a 8.5, 9 out of 10. If I have to rate the comfort, I'm giving it probably a 9 out of 10. And then if I'm giving the durability, probably the same, 9 out of 10. Solid, great shoe. If you're looking for a shoe, this is a good one to buy. The next shoe at number 2 is a shoe you probably don't have. You probably never thought of having, but I promise you, if you give it a chance, try it, you're not gonna regret it. And you're probably gonna have a hard time going back to whatever you were wearing before. And that's the All City Wade 13s from Way of Wade. Or honestly, any Way of Wade shoe, because every Way of Wade shoe I have, I love. How they fit, how they look, the traction on them, the durability. Honestly, it's an amazing shoe. Every Way of Wade shoe I've ever had fits my foot like a glove. Honestly, I forget I have a shoe on. That's how good these things fit. They look great. The designs are cool. It's different. It's innovative. It's something that you don't see everyone else having. So if you want something a little bit different and something that you're not just gonna go to the gym and see everybody wearing, this is a great shoe to have. And honestly, the prices on them are not that bad. This might not be a good shoe to get if the tears change everything, but hey, until the tears change, buy it now. Buy it now before they really enforce those tears, because yeah, then it might not be worth it. But so if I'm giving the looks, I'm giving this 8 out of 10. Comfort, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. I know, high praise. Traction, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. And then just durability, every Way of Wade I've had has lasted a pretty long time. The only thing that I will say, whatever glue they use on the inside, like to stick the insole into the shoe, it always, like, the insole comes out. Like, the glue's not very good. So that, I guess, goes to the durability part. So I'm gonna give the durability a 6 out of 10. But honestly, this is one of my favorite shoes out to hoop in. So I would highly recommend a Way to Wade All City 13s. So, all right, with that said, let's get the shoe number 1. This shoe is amazing. It has stood the tell of time. It is one of the greatest players to ever walk the face of the earth. Signature shoe, and it's one of the most signature colorways in shoe history. Everyone knows it when they see it. The reverse Bruce Lee Kobe 5s. Now, this is a beautiful shoe. This is pretty much the Kobe 6, but better. This fits better. It looks a little bit better. It's more comfortable. The traction's a little bit better. The cushion's a little bit better. It's basically just the Kobe 6, but just a little bit better, in my opinion. And this colorway, dude, this colorway's timeless. Like, when would this not be cool? Icy. It's icy, bro. It's just the black, the white, simple, but with that little hint of red. You just cannot go wrong with the reverse Bruce Lees. I have the Bruce Lees too. I love those. I've actually worn the Bruce Lees more than I've worn these. But this is by far, I think, my favorite shoe. It's just simple, it's clean, it's awesome. Looks, 10 out of 10. Comfort, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Traction, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Last, the durability, I've worn these shoes a lot. They still look great, they still look mint. Now, the inside is a little, it's not there because I did have my insoles in there. This is a great shoe. This is number 1. But with that being said, I had 2 honorable mentions that I was gonna have in my top 10. But the reason I didn't put them in my top 10 is because they're harder to get. I don't even know if you can really get them anymore. You might be able to. And they're not as popular maybe as these. People might not recognize them as much. But personally, they're my 2 favorite basketball shoes of all time. So I'm gonna show you all those 2 right now. These are my undoubtedly favorite shoes of all time. And I'm just gonna share it with you. They weren't in my top 10 because I don't know if you can get them. But like I said, I went to show y'all. And if you can get them, I highly recommend it. Like I said, these are my favorite shoes I've ever worn in my life. The first one, the Kyrie 4s. And personally, the Lucky Charms. I also have the Confetti Kyrie 4s. Those are my 2 favorite colorways of all time. But this is just a beautiful shoe. Like, to me, this shoe checks all the boxes. The traction, the durability, the comfort, the ankle support, just everything. The looks, like, this is one of my favorite shoes of all time. Kyrie did a good job. I know you're not with Nike anymore, which is kind of sad, but this is literally top shoe to me. If anyone ever asks me what my favorite shoe of all time is, this one definitely comes to my mind. But there's one shoe that is better to me and is my favorite shoe I have ever worn. Oh my gosh, if any of you ever ask me in person what my favorite shoe is, I'm gonna say this without hesitation. I've beat these shoes up so much. I'm holding them right now. They're beaten up to the brim, but I still love them and I will still always go back to them. And that is the first ever GT Cuts. This is by far my favorite shoe. I've worn this shoe more than any other basketball shoe. And honestly, they don't look terrible.
They look beat, but
they look beat, but I mean, I've worn this shoe so much. Like, I would wear this when I got this shoe every day for probably 3 years. I'm not even lying. I mean, granted, I was a basketball trainer, not necessarily hooping, but man, I love this shoe. Everything about it, the traction, the look, the comfort, the feel, durability. I mean, this is, like I said, the shoe I've worn the most, and it still looks decent. It looks old. It looks like it's been worn, but it looks good. And I need Nike. I need y'all to make another shoe like this. If y'all make another shoe like this, I will give you my bank account. Take it. So with that said, that is the top 10 hoop shoes in 2025. If you need to work on your rotation, those are the shoes that I recommend you getting. Highly recommend these, but if you can't find them, there's plenty of other options that I gave y'all today that you can get. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If y'all want to see another video like this, let me know in the comments. Turn on those post notifications and then watch that video right there because that's the one YouTube thinks you should watch next. Love you guys. Peace.